Okay, it looks like things are working now. I think we can hear the audio now. Okay, great. System crashed right before I was going to do the webinar, so I just brought up what I could right now. So we'll see what we can do. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, we saw the euro come under some pressure here. We're still above the 38%. Bear with me. As long as we hold this area here, now I don't even have the bias chart up. Like I said, I just brought it up as quickly as I could so I can just get the webinar started. So, but our bias chart support we had, I think is 1048, but we are holding at this 38%. Hang on, this is the wrong one, hold on. Okay. So you can see here with the Boons. Boons are actually starting to rally a bit here. So I thought that the move down here was going to be supportive for the euro. Probably kept the euro from falling much further. We're still pretty weak on the Boons, but they're moving a little bit higher. But this lower move here in Boons is probably a little bit supportive for euro. The big story of the day so far, I've been coming in the chat room, has been crude oil. And if you look at this on a 2-hour chart, we posted this. We have another one of those gravestone. It's a little bit long because if you look at it, you may almost think a shooting star, but it's not that wild of a wick on the upside. So the wick's a little bit long for a gravestone doji, but it's not long enough for a shooting star. A shooting star would have been if let's say we had jumped all the way up to about 58.50 and came down here, then that would be a shooting star. But you can see here, we're certainly negative. We talked about this on the way up, 57.43 key. We actually hit some stops there, and the market jumped up real quick and then slid back, and then the report came out, and I don't know, go into this, but the rest is history. We actually had some support here on the, I think it's on the 30-minute, but anyway, it was on the D's futures at 56.31. We actually dipped below that, but we haven't even seen very much of a rally. If you, like I said, I posted in the chat room, if you look at it from an audio, from a fundamental and technical standpoint, fundamentally, OPEC says that they're going to focus on compliance and not on cuts. 10 minutes later, Russia came out and said it's too early to consider cuts. And then technically, like I said, you look at this picture and the failure up in here, and really has bulls under a lot of duress. And then we finally broke down here, and this was a good area here, the 56, we actually have below 56.20, but it's 56.30. And we didn't even see, not even a 20-tick rally off of this. So it suggests that there's probably further downside over the next 24 to 36 hours. Now, we also saw the news about the trade deal may be postponed. And that actually saw the gold market take a rally up in here. Bear with me. Like I said, I don't have hardly anything up. I had resistance on the D's futures at 1496.30. I wanted to take a stab there. We came up a little bit short. I think on the D's futures, the high was like 1495.90. But we've gone and paired back, I think, about $3 or so. Once again, the system went down. I don't even have any of my futures charts up. But you can see this thing starting to pull back. And like I said, that trade news came out. Actually, the algos even got fooled because the gold actually fell down, then turned around and rallied up. And in the crude oil, the same thing. They saw a trade deal and immediately saw the knee-jerk reaction where we rallied up to 56.98. We had resistance, mostly in the chat room, 56.99. We rallied to 56.98 and quickly sold off, as it said, trade deal, but potential delay. Then we sold off, and the crude oil has been under quite a bit of pressure since then, just kind of sitting here at the lows, a good support, and still not able to go on and bounce up. We'll go back in here. Into the currencies, like I said, trying to do the best I can under, like I said, losing everything. Dollar CAD, we're up here. We had a bias chart resistance at 31.82. That's been the resistance for the last few days, and we're actually above it right now. Now, if we get a daily close above, if we get a daily close above 31.82, it will open the door for us to push higher. Remember, we ran out of gas just before the 50% retracement at 32.12. I think we ran out of gas around 32.07 or so. We can take a look here. Fortunately, I didn't have any positions on. I plugged in the mic and it just said an error message, and then all of a sudden it just shut down. Yeah, 3212. So this was on the day with the things, non-farm payroll, and we'd actually had resistance at the time. I think it was 3160 or 62. And then we started moving higher. And actually I said, you know what, let me go on and how far can this go if we do get the move? And I think we made the move before we got the non-farm payroll, and we got this in. I think I mentioned to you, I actually just missed that. And by the time I noticed it, it was already. I think we were trading at 31.82 at the time, or 83, and I was really disappointed. We did eventually work even lower. By the end of the day, I think we're down around 31.60, but I was like, no way, I'm not going to come in at that point. I missed an excellent entry on there. But the point is that if we close above 31.82, it really opens the door for us not only to get to 32.12 easily, but it should open the door for us to go and challenge 32.35. If we get a daily close above 31.82, the bias chart resistance. We also have Canadian employment at the end of the week. Cable is under some duress here. I think we kept our bias chart resistance and support at the same. I believe it's 2763, if I remember correctly. So it looks like it's still a ways down. I think it was 2763. Like I said, with everything crashing down, just barely had enough time to try and get things up so there wouldn't be a delay. Dollar peso continues to go and struggle with that breakout level. Like I said, I don't see anything bullish about this thing. I mean, the only thing you can say is it's held its lows. You can see here, really was a big disappointment on the way back up. I mean, way back up, we saw the nice movement as we broke. And I said, this thing is bearish. And once it got a daily close below 1923, we're looking for 1908. And we got the 08, and then we were looking potentially for 02. I think the market stopped at just under 5. And we've been pushing back and forth. You can see here, it just can't take out this breakout level. It may, but I'm saying there's nothing bullish about this pair whatsoever. You'd actually have to get, just before you could even consider this even a bit of a bullish take, it'd have to get above 1947, okay? Not that you can't make money if we hit some stops, but this thing is not bullish in any way whatsoever if you're looking at it from a technical standpoint. Okay, not saying it's going to turn around and fall down. And like I said, people might make the case that it's holding. Look, all it's doing is holding. Anybody that played from the short side, or even for the 1944, when he said, that's it, we get it closed below 1944, or they lose 1944, that's it, over, done with, finito, turn out the lights. Well, they've already come down here. And obviously, if you got short for 1923, you see what I'm saying, looking for a move to 08, it still came down here and still been pressed low. So all it means is those that are short, they're not getting paid to hold short anymore. So you're seeing a little bit of short covering, but you're not even seeing us take out the 23.6 with any conviction. And that's what we would need to start with. Initial resistance will come in at 28, and then after that, 32. So to get bullish, even to be considered a bit of a bullish picture, you'd have to reclaim 1947 on a daily close. Okay, so you can see it's a long ways off. Dollar yen still holding in here fairly well. We come back up to this pivot, and I'm surprised it's actually still holding here, because now we got the news that the trade deal may be delayed, and that really whacked crude oil and sent gold also higher, pulled down equities a bit. We can take a look here. Wrong chart again. Okay, you see equities even took a dip on this, so people got stopped out on this deal here. Then we rallied up. Like I said, some of the algos, they saw the word trade deal, and man, boom, they actually rallied, higher. I can tell you with crude oil was trading at 56.72 and just barely trying to make its way up, not even doing very well. And then it came out, it popped up to 98, and then quickly just sold off. Just as quickly as it went up, it went right back down. So even the algos got fooled on this. They saw trade deal and boom, reacted. Then it said delayed and boom, reacted the other way, literally in milliseconds. And the same thing with gold oil. We saw that can't yank down, then start to go right back up. Boon's working a little bit higher here. Let's see here. And like I said, crude oil really does suggest that a move lower over the next 24, 36 hours. I mean, if you look at this, as I mentioned, on a 2-hour chart, that is not what you want if you're a bull. Now, like I said, if you're way down here, that wouldn't carry as much weight. But look, after this big old move, look at that. You see? Does that make you bullish? You see what I'm saying? So, and then technically, like I said, we saw a lot of volume at the 57.43. On the rally back, I was looking for 57.30 to 43 again, but we couldn't even get up to 30, and that was my entry zone. Jane in the chat room actually mentioned she actually sold, I guess, on the way down because it never made it to 30 on the rebound back. But I mentioned, I was looking on a 5-minute chart and I said if it loses, the 5-minute chart actually had a, I can see if it shows up in here. Bear with me. Oh, wait. We actually had a, yeah, there he is. We had actually a hammer, and on here, obviously this is CFDs, but I mentioned that 57.09 had to hold. And once we got below 57.09, it really opened the door for us to break lower, and break lower we started to do. And then the market just, once it got past, and you really have to go with the momentum on some of these moves when you're trading crude. Like I said, I haven't traded crude in a while. I'm back in the flow, but try to get into the little nuances, and but sometimes I come in and try and pick up a, catch a falling knife. But the last couple of days I've been just watching this, observing this, and how it wants to, looking also at the volume coming in, which is very, very helpful. But I said, and normally in a situation like that, I probably would have tried to catch it down here and said, no, the momentum's getting, let's see how far this thing's going to go in and break. I think we broke down to about the 70s, or actually 60s. We kind of try to bounce up a little bit. And really, this is just right there. This move is just the algo move that we saw here, and then the market really came undone, and we saw the pressure. And look, you can see we even continue to move lower. And so really, anybody that's a bull, they're throwing in the towel. Another thing that I noticed over the last couple of days, the volume on Monday, even Monday, wasn't great volume. So those that were sticking around, it wasn't like people were adding on with great volume. So it's very susceptible, I think, to going in and paring back here. Obviously, like I said, this is quite bearish, you can see here. And I was suggesting in the room that looks for the next 24 to 36 hours, looks like we can go on and fall off. Like I said, I don't have the features chart up right now. But that's all we have for today. Sorry for the delay. Like I said, ran into some technical issues, and we will catch you tomorrow. Once again, you may want to go and consider a 10-day trial for ForexAnalytix for $1. Like I said, it gives you the access to not only to all the analysis, macro, Elliott wave, harmonics, and basic technical, but also access to the chat room, also the patterns in play that the guys and gals put out. But like I said, to me, it's all about the chat room. To me, the chat room is where you really get the most out of it. But once again, there's a whole lot of features to that. And $1 to just try it out for 10 days, pretty good opportunity here. But thanks for joining us here, and good luck with the rest of the day.